So the 2000s are probably the best known decade for our electronic music duo Daft Punk. Many of their hits you probably know with Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, One More Time, Robot Rock, and Technologic, but I don't think you're getting the full picture of Daft Punk if you haven't listened to Alive 2007, which is what I'll be doing a deep dive on today, with how they were able to make a comeback back into the public popularity. Now if you want more content like this, please like and subscribe, and leave a comment on another album you want to see next potentially. If you're not familiar with Daft Punk throughout the 2000s, we'll have to start back to their debut in 1997 with Homework. Thomas Bangalter and Guy Manuel de Homo Cristo explored more in house production across the record. You more than likely know a few songs such as The Funk, and most famously Around the World, where the duo stretched out these tracks for several minutes, but not to the point where I felt lost. They would bring in new motifs while they let old musical motifs leave the mix for about 8 or to 16 measures to get you accustomed to it. It's a quality house record with other highlights such as Daphne Direct, Fresh, Revolution 909, Oh Yeah, and shout out to Teachers, where the duo names a list of people that helped inspire their sound. It's an essential listen if you're looking to get into house music. Over time, they would go on the Daft Direct tour for a little while, and after the tour, they were trying to find their own image by using masks and other face coverings. But then in 2001, for the promotion of their next album, the image and brand that would define them for the rest of their career were 2 futuristic helmets. The album that they were promoting was Discovery, and I gotta say, this is a stellar record. Those core elements of Daft Punk are still here, but they take a couple steps even further. They use vocoders, more strategic sampling, and utilize lyrics. This is home to some of their biggest songs and some of the most iconic, with Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, which you might recognize because of its use in Kanye's song Stronger. Other songs such as One More Time, Aerodynamic, Digital Love, and Something About Us show the duo at their absolute best. Even the deep cuts hit as well, such as Face to Face, Veritas Quo, Short Circuit, and even Voyager. I love this album dearly. I highly recommend it if you're looking to get into their music. Now by that point, they have received their highest critical praise at the time, besides a few critics, most notably the infamous Pitchfork 6.4 rating that seemed more lazy than engaged. So the duo would decide that their next record would take a new direction and instead strip back and get weird. Working on it for only about a couple weeks with a minimal set of instruments. Then they will release Human After All in March 2005. Can I be honest with you guys? It's an interesting idea, in theory. At its worst, it's dour, repetitive, and incomplete. Songs like Steam Machine, Prime Time of Your Life, and Television Rules the Nation always make me wonder if I've been hearing the same shit for about 3 minutes, or even about halfway through the songs. What doesn't help is also the sound of the record, very distorted synth leads, and very crunchy vocoder leads, though I will give this record its dues with the title track and Technologic, and I didn't mind Brainwasher. I liked Emotion as a closer, and I of course liked Robot Rock for that guitar riff. Though I want to make something super clear here, Human After All is not a bad record. It's just a cool idea in theory with a half-baked effort. For me, it's mid at best. Critics bashed the record for its distortion or repetitiveness, and by this point it seemed like the duo was pretty much old news. Like, they were getting bigger and better with each new release, and it seems like that Human After All really made them old heads, if I had to describe them. So they had to decide on what they were going to do to win back the public. They would decide to go on their second world tour at Lollapalooza with a pyramid light show that synced up with the music. Now, this may sound hyperbolic, but that show was legendary. I mean, I can't express how much a lot of these songs work together. A lot of these tracks in this performance are from Human After All, and honestly, I would rather hear them here than on that record. But it's not just songs from Human After All though. They actually use their entire catalog that they have up to that point. And so the way the duo play with these tracks isn't just pressing play or just playing the hits. They include some of the deep cuts as well. There's a lot of moments where the duo undergoes manipulation of the tracks and makes a section of the performances worth the journey. You take the opening section of the performance when they play Robot Rock, as they start out with the lines that slowly build up into the chorus. I love that bit when they start using the off-kilter version of that guitar riff on loop with the beat of Oh Yeah. Then we get to Technologic, and they still play the riff on loop until there's like a beat switch from Busta Rhymes' Touch It, which actually samples Technologic.
Watch it, turn it, leave it, stop, format it, touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, turn it, leave it, stop, format it, touch it, bring it.
They explore with it for a while until Technologic pretty much steals the show for a good few minutes with the classic hook. Then it starts playing the vocals from Television Rules the Nation. They played that song for a little while that feels like low effort. It feels like a song like this was built for a live performance. Now at one point, they immediately pivot over to crescendos out of nowhere. They played that song for a little bit, but then they start tinkering with the song for like a massive build that leads into them mixing both choruses. Like, it sounds wild. I'm glad they kept it playing for a while until we get to what sounds like a sample from their own track, Steam Machine, without the hissing noise. They also mashed this up with the track Too Long. Over time, they undergo this breakdown as they start building back momentum. They do it slowly but surely and ending it with dropping the chorus from Too Long. And the hissing sound actually comes into the mix with a purpose and not just to be annoying. Now, when they do transitions on here, they hit hard. And throughout the performance, if you didn't have the track list on you, you would not be able to tell what the duo would hit you with next. The transition into Around the World is quite good. I like how they smuggled the tracks way into the mix. They just let the beat drop from that song and let it play for a little while. So they whip out the vocals from Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger.
Work it, make it, do it, make sense.
Now they slowly make this masterful build into a colorful use of both songs with the beat going hard as fuck. We are then setting things down with the guitar work from Voyager, and they bring sharp synth leads from the song Burnin'. And I gotta say, the deep cuts they actually utilize on here are quite refreshing and a nice change of pace. We sent them down again with them bringing in the second half of the song Too Long, and they let that part shine for the rest of that part of the performance. And they end this section by manipulating the track for a glorious outro. And the next part is where we get into some odd territory, leading with the track Face to Face. I'm hearing stutters of the vocals slowly building up with the gate sound effect of Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. We get this as they pick up the pace over time. They pretty much let both songs have their respective moments until they whip out the second half of Short Circuit. And they let it play into its distortion as it fades out. We're in the latter half of the performance, and just to remind you, if you like content like this, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, possibly share. It means a lot. I'm just a college kid trying to make something out of this. I would appreciate if y'all actually come back to watch my videos. With all that out of the way, let's get back into the video. We get a bit of silence until we get some bells, until they actually hit us with one more time. They put it on loop for a bit until we finally let the vocals drop. The song takes the spotlight for a good amount of time until they whip out the guitar solo from Aerodynamic. It's unreal. And they actually incorporate what sounds like their sample of Aerodynamic with the killer production from the second half of the track to go behind it. This, with the vocals from One More Time gliding through the production with it fading in and out, is very mesmerizing. Then they whip out the vocals from Brainwasher. It starts this wild ass build with the vocals getting more distorted as they build into the drop of the vocals from Prime Time of Your Life for a bit until they throw in the beat from Rollin' and Scratchin'. Like, this mashup is so fascinating to me, how they work with these songs from Human After All. As Prime Time of Your Life starts fading out, we get this distorted sound reminiscent of a saw blade cutting through the mix from Rollin' and Scratchin' as it takes center stage, but over time they just fucking take off with this song for a bit, and while they bring back Brainwasher, like, it's fucking crazy how they're even able to tinker with these tracks. And not only that, the song steals a show for a while until we get a throwback to their first song they ever made with Alive. And if you didn't know, the song Alive was originally called New Wave back when they made it in the 90s, but Final Mix became called Alive, and it was the song they made before Defunct. Now, and there's a point when they actually let the melody just take center stage, and it sends chills down my fucking spine. Like, I love how they let the song subside as you can hear the audience clapping to the beat as they bring it back in full. And they bring back the vocals from Prime Time of Your Life, and I was absolutely floored by this mashup. The ending is just pure ear candy with them playing out the distorted vocals until it cuts out with the crowd cheering. Bro, it's just amazing as hell. It gets quiet for a bit until they whip out a loop from Steam Machine with the beat from Da Funk into the mix, and the classic hook just never gets old. Over time, they start looping and chop up Da Funk a bit with vocals from Daft and Direct? What? The intergalactic bridge manipulation section is so fucking mesmerizing along with the hook, it's simply sublime. They are truly playing to the robot aesthetic with the noises of like robot machinery and tinkering. Afterwards, when we get to Superheroes, it sounds like that's all they play until they throw in Human After All on it, and it surprisingly works on here too. And the inclusion of rock and roll doesn't feel out of place, but it's kind of odd seeing it used here. I would have hoped that it was used with Rolling and Scratching from earlier. They used the breakdown from Human After All as a means to create a gigantic build in the end with Superheroes and rock and roll in the mix towards the end, and sheesh! Now we're getting to the last couple of minutes, and it was worth every second when we get to this encore section. You see, they start well with the vocals from Human After All on loop, but they start out slow, and then they just keep getting faster and faster and faster until they keep up the pace. And they start playing a sample loop on an unknown track, or at least it's unknown to me, but I can't help but say that how much I still enjoy it. And the song Together actually gets some shine here as well, along with another song called Music Sounds Better With You from Stardust. The song goes quite well for that beat drop and with One More Time. After a while of partying on the dance floor, all great things must come to an end as the duo play a bit of aerodynamic for a fitting end with swirls of distortion to end the whole performance as the vocals fade out, and it's frankly amazing. So this performance and tour was their comeback after their experimental Human After All. It got them into popularity again, and would see actually waves of influence, as it definitely set the standard for like live electronic music artists or electronic music producers for the foreseeable future of the 2010s. And like I said, while this did get them back into popularity and would also do more great things, but that's going to be for another video. This performance was nothing short of amazing, and while there may have been a few transitions or song selections that I personally didn't vibe with, but the level of showmanship, the artistry, the progression compared to their first time during a world tour is basically night and day. I have no problem with giving this an A+. If y'all enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe with the notification bell so you won't miss future videos. Let me know what albums you guys want to see next potentially. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.
They acting bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody